is so exciting because I am flying EVA Air business class to Taiwan. I'm literally freaking out right now. I'm currently in the business class lounge and I'm talking kind of quietly because I don't want to disturb the other guests. I'm going to show you the whole experience. In a second, we're about to check out the lounge food, and then once we get on the plane, we'll look at the amenities. I also already ordered my in-flight meals, which I'm really excited about, and I'm sure there'll be snacks and other surprises along the way. As you might be able to tell, I do not fly business class very often, and I finally racked up enough points to book this flight. So without further ado, let's go check out the lounge food. Oh my gosh, they have such a nice variety of things. Literally so many different kinds of drinks, juices, sodas, cocktails. They have like a whole bar section, and I definitely don't get my money's worth when it comes to drinks because I literally always just get water. But they did have some exciting food options that I ended up grabbing. So first up, we have some clam chowder, which I think is so fitting for this being at the San Francisco airport. It's extremely thick. Like, look at this texture. Flavor is okay. There's some clams which I like, but just okay. Also got the sandwich. They just put a fresh batch out right when I was there, so it was perfect timing. There's like a pesto mayo in there. I like how they pack a bunch of turkey in, but it's just okay as well. Got a little wrap. There's like falafel in here. It's like a little Mediterranean wrap. Not bad actually. I'm gonna try this brownie. It's a triple chocolate brownie. Very chocolatey and moist. Wow, it like sticks to your mouth. It's so moist. Then they also have the section with some Asian options. Let's try this spring roll. Kind of crispy, some vegetable filling, nothing too special. Tofu curry. Tofu is nice and soft. The curry actually has a good amount of flavor and spice. I feel that heat. Then we also got the roast garlic chicken. Chicken's a little dry, has like a soy sesame-ish flavor. Not super heavy on the garlic though, but overall, lounge food was just okay. Best things were the brownie and the tofu curry, but I am very excited for our business class meals. What's also a perk of having business class for this flight is that we can board directly from the lounge. We don't even need to go to the gate, and that is so convenient. My little seat. All right, let me show you around. So here's a seat, and it's nice and cushy, like it's firm but cushy. And then the seat is a nice size, and you can of course lay down when you want to sleep. Here we have a light, we have an outlet, some plugs for the headphones and stuff. We have a remote. I'm assuming we'll have a lot of in-flight entertainment. And then there's a little kind of cubby area, perfect for like my boarding pass and passport. Then we have this little table area. And then yeah, they just brought me a water. You can request any drink. And I've already finished it because I'm so thirsty. And they give you this chocolate as a little welcome gift. Crunchy. Then we have the TV here, and it folds out. And it also folds back in. It's very convenient for extra space. And then there's like this whole area for your feet. Like I can't even reach the back there. So this can definitely fit someone pretty tall, I would say. I mean, I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'4.5"-ish, maybe 5'5". But yeah, plenty of leg room. And there's even more storage down here too. We have the table that pulls out. Look at that. So lots of space to do lots of eating, to hold lots of food, which we will be putting to good use for sure. And it's also good amount of space to like do some work as well. And it folds very conveniently back into there. They also gave us these pajamas, very excited about that, and some slippers of course, and the amenity kit. Oh, it's like, feels like really nice quality. Let's open it up. Ooh, another little pouch inside. This is nice to have. Then we have a comb. Oh, with a mirror too. Look at that. Got some earplugs, some lip balm, some lotion. Ooh, then we have this nice sleeping mask. Feels very soft. And it's nice because it looks big. I have a very big head, so a lot of sleeping masks actually don't fit me, but this looks like I think it'll fit my head, so that's good. Then we have a toothbrush and toothpaste, a little key ring, and last but not least, what is this? Oh, a facial mist. Interesting. Okay, cool. And this bag is quite nice. It has some pockets in there. You can fit a lot of stuff in there. So a nice little toiletry bag too. Wow, we are living large today. And then we also have these headphones. Let's take a look. Whoa, looks so fancy. Nice and cushy. Feels very soft and comfortable. Super nice. So taking a look at the menu, they had so many different drink options, even milk tea, which we will definitely be trying. And here is the food menu. Feel free to pause if you want to read it. We started off with some pineapple juice. It was really sweet, tart, and tangy, super refreshing. I just felt so fancy sipping my pineapple juice in the air. The first course, we had deviled egg with bacon. The egg was so creamy, and the bacon added so much smoky and umami flavor. I loved it. It was the perfect bite. Then was the smoked salmon cream puff, and at first I tasted the cream puff pastry, and I've only ever had sweet cream puff, so my taste buds were so confused when the smoked salmon flavor came in. But to be honest, I love anything smoked salmon, so it was definitely a hit. The second course was a crab salad with avocado. It was super creamy. I loved the chunks of avocado, and it even had some surprise lobster at the bottom. Moving on to the lobster with mango salad. Never thought I'd be squeezing a lemon on a flight, but here we are. I felt so fancy. And just look at these cute salt and pepper shakers. They're so adorable. The lobster was cooked really, really well. It had a bite to it, but it wasn't tough. And the mango salad added a tartness that paired really well with it. They came around with a bread basket, so I had to pick the garlic bread. It smelled amazing. Like, I need this scent in an air freshener or candle ASAP, but upon tasting it, it was a little too toasted for my liking. Moving on to the third course, we had this saffron seafood soup. I found that for this one, the broth flavor was a little too light. Like, it was basically hot water with a whiff of seafood. The shrimp was a bit overcooked and mushy. The scallop was cooked all right, and it was still a bit tender, which I liked. And the oyster, it was an oyster. The fourth course was just a pretty standard salad. It had nice crunchy lettuce, and the asparagus was actually cooked really well. I'm also glad I got the vinegar dressing because the other option was blue cheese dressing, and I'm just not a huge fan of that. So yeah, I just gobbled this right up. Then they brought me my matcha milk tea, and I was honestly just so shocked that they had milk tea on the flight. Like, I had never experienced that before, so I was super, super excited. I actually originally ordered the taro with fresh milk, but they said that they only offer it when flying from Taipei and not to Taipei. So I just opted for the matcha milk tea instead, and it was all right. Like, of course it's no ceremonial grade matcha, but it did the job. It was not too sweet, and it nicely warmed my belly. Now for the star of the show, it's the main course, and I actually picked this course in advance. If you go online over 24 hours before your flight, then you can actually pick from extra courses that aren't listed on the flight menu. So I went with this duck confit with black truffle sauce, gnocchi, and veggies. I mean, I know I keep saying this, but just look how fancy this is. I was literally so excited for this course, and just overall so excited to be experiencing business class. Like, it's definitely something I will never forget. But anyway, on to the tasting. Even though I was so excited for it, the duck was sadly kind of dry. Like, some bits were juicier, but overall definitely on the dry side. The gnocchi, unfortunately, was mushy, just kind of like little balls of potato mush. The saving grace though was the truffle sauce. Whenever I dipped the gnocchi or duck in there, it helped a lot with the flavor. I did, however, enjoy the veggies. The carrots and snap peas were cooked well, but my favorite was the mushrooms, so flavorful and umami. Overall, a bit disappointed in the main course. I saw on the menu they had a beef Wellington, and I'm wondering if that would have been a better option. Not really sure. But moving on to something sweet, we got some dessert. My excitement returned when I saw them pushing this dessert cart with tons of fruits, ice cream, cookies, tarts, etc. I picked out the fruit. pear tart, and of course some Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I always get so excited about fruits on EVA Air because I've had some of the sweetest fruit in their meals. But this honeydew surprisingly was just okay. Like, it was sweet, but it could have been softer and riper. However, this cantaloupe was amazing. So soft and sweet, like melts in your mouth. It was an absolute hit. I couldn't get over how much I loved it. The strawberry was huge, but I would have liked it to be sweeter. Then again, I did just have a super sweet cantaloupe, so maybe my taste buds thought it was more tart because of that. The grapes were actually so good, crunchy and sweet. That's literally all you can ask for in a good grape. Moving on to the pear tart. If I'm being honest, I didn't have high hopes for this because I'm not even a huge tart person, but dang, I was shook. This was delicious. I don't even know how to explain why I loved it so much. It was sweet, buttery, it had this like crystallized sugar taste, which I love. I happily finished the whole thing. Then of course I had to get the Haagen-Dazs, but sadly they only had chocolate, which isn't my favorite ice cream flavor, but regardless, it was a nice way to end the meal. They even gave us hot towelettes to clean up after our huge meal. Then they turned off the lights. They definitely know that we were all in a huge food coma. So they helped us set up the beds, and this is arguably one of my favorite parts of being on a business class flight is being able to lay down. Like, it's just so comfortable, and they even have these little stars on the ceiling of the plane. So it really gives that effect of sleeping under the stars, which is a little detail that I super appreciate. I only slept for 3 hours before this flight, so I'd be able to sleep on it and adjust to Taiwan time more easily. But anyway, I woke up from a really nice nap, and from their snack menu, I ordered the instant noodles and hot chocolate with cookies. Looking at the soup, it didn't look like much. It was so clear that it almost just looked like water, and it came with these really thin rice noodles and bok choy. To be honest, I didn't expect much, but wow, I actually loved it. Like, when you slurp the noodles, you can get some of the flavor of the broth, which had a strong scallion/fried onion flavor with a little hint of white pepper. Sipping the broth alone, it was so flavorful and comforting and warm, yet light at the same time. The hot chocolate was pretty standard. It tasted pretty much like the Swiss Miss packets that you make at home, and this cookie was like a nice little shortbread. It was buttery and sweet, but of course I had to dip the cookie in the hot chocolate, and dang, it was a match made in heaven. The cookie soaked up the chocolate flavor, and it almost had a melt in your mouth consistency. I gobbled it all up along with the soup, all while watching a classic. I went back to sleep again, and before we knew it, they were waking us up for breakfast. We started off with this smoked salmon salad. Like I mentioned before, I love anything with smoked salmon, so I really enjoyed it. It came with some cream cheese and veggies. I squeezed the lemon on, and it added such a nice acidity to the smoked salmon. Paired with the veggies, it made for a nice refreshing bite with the creaminess of the cream cheese. I always get so excited when they bring the bread basket around. Like, I can't even contain my excitement. I ended up picking this one, and it was so hot I could barely even hold it. It melted the butter so fast, and honestly, nothing beats warm bread. For the main course, I chose the lobster ravioli. I did think it was really interesting to have lobster ravioli as an option for the breakfast course, but I still couldn't resist getting it. It had 4 ravioli with a good amount of lobster on top, as well as some veggies on the side. The ravioli was actually quite good, like the pasta was cooked really well, and it was like a little pocket of goodness. I love how there was lobster in the filling and on top, so they're really not skimping on the lobster. It was also cooked really well and tasted fresh. The veggies weren't anything special, but I still cleaned the plate except the tomato because I don't like tomatoes. Of course, we finished off with some fruit, which came with strawberries, grapes, honeydew, pineapple, and papaya. The pineapple was sweet and tart. The honeydew and strawberries were about the same as earlier, but these grapes? I'm usually a green grape person, but dang, these red grapes were so crunchy, even crunchier than the green grapes earlier. The papaya was also nice and ripe. They asked if I wanted tea or coffee, so I opted for tea, and they brought me this jasmine oolong. It was really hot and contrasted the cold, sweet fruits well. It had a floral jasmine flavor, but also a deep oolong flavor at the same time. It was a perfect way to end the meal. Soon after breakfast, it was time to land, and I hope you guys enjoyed this business class flight video. If you haven't already, definitely make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell because I have a lot of Taiwan and Japan content coming up, and you definitely do not want to miss it. Let me know what food from this video you were surprised by the most, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!